Shakeup at OpenAI rocking Silicon Valley this weekend. CEO Sam Altman was removed from his role by the company's board in a controversial decision, and then early this morning hired by Microsoft. Joining us right now, Dan Primack, Axios business editor. Wow, a lot of whiplash over the weekend, Dan, about sort of what really happened, how it happened, and maybe I'll just start with the biggest question. What does this all mean?
I mean, that's a great question because you say things keep shifting. I think what it really means is that OpenAI, which I think most of us woke up on Friday thinking was the most powerful AI company in the world and arguably the most important, right now I think its entire future is in question. Doesn't mean it's disappearing or not going to be important, but I think legitimately none of us know right now.
So it now appears to me, at least, that Microsoft and Google, if they weren't the biggest players before, this changes that. But how much of the intelligence, the knowledge, the know-how that somebody like Sam Altman and Greg Brockman have and that team have, can they bring effectively to a Microsoft versus some of the IP and other things that might originally emanate from the OpenAI piece of this? And how are these two groups going to even work together, given that one of them effectively was fired from the other?
So I think there's a lot there. For starters, if it was just Greg and Sam, I don't think a huge amount. Obviously, they know a lot. Greg, arguably a little bit more even on the AI side. I think the real question is how many of the team members. You're seeing dozens and dozens of OpenAI employees this morning, just within the last hour, tweeting out OpenAI is nothing without its employees. The presumption is that means these are people interested in maybe going to Microsoft. That includes OpenAI's CTO, the woman who was interim CEO for about one business hour over the weekend. You know, I think this bigger picture question about Microsoft is there was a assumption by a lot of people, including me, that what Microsoft was originally doing with OpenAI was trying to get the big benefit of the AI push and kind of jumping over, if not jumping over safety guardrails, at least moving really fast with having some plausible deniability from big tech. Like, it's not us who's, going super fast. It's them. They're a partner. But now they're bringing in Sam and Greg, who, if all the reporting is correct, were kind of pushing commercialization faster and faster. So I think Microsoft has decided that the reward is worth the risk.
Do we have any idea what Microsoft had to do to attract Sam and Greg there? As we know, Sam, and I don't know about Greg, but Sam definitely didn't have equity in OpenAI, but he does have these multiple other businesses. And there was clear reporting that in the past couple of weeks, he was trying to raise money for other entrepreneurial startups and efforts. Will he be able to continue to pursue those? Is he now inside some kind of Microsoft box? Do we know anything about that?
We really don't. I mean, I would think, and leaving all the money aside and the equity aside, I mean, I think a big part of this is what Microsoft probably said to Sam and Greg in part was, we're going to let you do what it is you want to do. The thing that clearly OpenAI, or at least OpenAI's board, doesn't want to let you do. As for some of those other projects, the big one seems to be this chip issue. I mean, Sam has talked a bit about his concerns about how kind of the entire chip industry, or so much of it in terms of manufacturing, is in Taiwan, which obviously from a geopolitical, even military perspective, is a risk to the entire industry. And if, for example,
Right.
Saudi Arabia or Qatar, someone like that was willing to basically become a major center of chip manufacturing, I think Sam believed was in OpenAI and the whole AI industry's benefit to have that.
Dan, we're out of time, but since 30 seconds, you're the VC man. Josh Kushner, Thrive, was a big investor in the secondary shares of this whole thing. The valuation of it on the private side has clearly just blown up. Just take us inside to the extent you can in 30 seconds.
I think the VCs get screwed here, absolutely get screwed here. I mean, Microsoft, in theory, Microsoft might get all the talent, but Thrive and the VCs don't have equity in Microsoft. So if Microsoft has decided, if not to write off OpenAI, at least say we're going to still get the benefit of the technology of the people, what are the VCs necessarily left with here? I don't think a hell of a lot if there is this huge exodus today. I think Microsoft wins, the VCs lose.